Alright, yo, what's going on everyone? It's your boy Chris and I'm back with another little tutorial for you. And today, this is actually going to be a very, hands-on tutorial because I'm going to kind of take you through my process of how I do skin. I'm gonna cell shade this so it's not going to be too hard. Should be pretty simple for everyone to, pick up on. And it's also going to be a little bit more unprofessional since, again, I'm not a professional artist by any means. But I think my method is pretty easy, and once I explain it and you get the gist and all the layers and such, you'll be able to like do this yourself. So yeah, right here, as you can see, we have three beautiful ladies. We have a white girl, brown girl, black girl. I want to do sort of I guess like a render with all of these shades, just so like you can get an idea and a feel for how I would tackle each skin tone. So yeah, that's gonna be how I tackle this video. So yeah, if you're excited, actually no, I'm not even gonna ask you to do that. I'm not even gonna ask for a like, man. I'm not even gonna ask for a like unless you like the video. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So first off, yeah, obviously I'm gonna need more cleaner lines than this because this is just a sketch, obviously. So I already went ahead and did that. This is line art. So boom, this is what we got right here. So when I'm choosing base colors, and let me just go ahead and start with homegirl over here. So when I'm choosing base colors, I typically want to go with the less saturated colors. So this is a white girl, so I'm typically gonna go for more of a color in this range, and then somewhere up here. So this oranges kind of color, more oranges pink almost, and then all the way up right here, almost to the gray. And I want it to be desaturated just because when I come in with the shade, that's when the saturation and like the color is really gonna bring the whole skin tone to life. So starting out like desaturated will help you with just like giving your paintings or drawings or whatever more life, in my opinion. So I'm gonna probably time lapse this while I block in all of these colors, and then I'll come right back and we'll talk some more. So yeah, let me do that. Alright, so I have my flat colors. I'm gonna go ahead and just name this the skin layer. Or actually, I'm gonna rename this the base layer, because that's what it is, right? And I have this layer, and actually what I'm gonna do is I'm going to just change this a little bit so it's a little bit more like that, and I'm still in this color range, so it's still very desaturated, right? And typically for like lighter skin, I like to kind of grab in this orangish pinkish area, probably gonna go down to like the reddish color, and I'm gonna choose, let's say, this color right here, this pinkish color. This is obviously going to be a little bit more saturated, but I'm going to create a new layer on top of that, and I'm going to clip this to that base, and let's rename this gradient, because before I do anything, and if you watch my other tutorials, you always see me do this, I like to get my soft brush tool, or soft brush, whatever, and then just lightly go over the top. Let's do this right there, and I also like to kind of lower the size and go on the ears and the nose. Well, the ears, the nose, and the mouth. And the reasoning is because for me, those are like the points of interest on the face. I just want there to be a little bit more, I guess, some color separation in between just like the base color, if that makes sense. And it just makes the piece look a little bit more dynamic, in my opinion. So I like to do that for the colors. And also I think I'm gonna add a little bit of a blush to just her cheek area too. And yeah, that just adds a little bit visual interest to like her skin tone. So already she's starting to it's starting to look like actual skin tone, right? And yeah, this is again, gradients and a soft brush. That's like my main tool for like skin, just to like fade everything in correctly and make everything look nice. I'm gonna create another layer. Actually, I'm gonna do the same thing, but I'm actually gonna name this detail. And this time I'm gonna make it a little bit more saturated. And I'm still gonna go lightly over these areas, but it's definitely gonna be a little bit more prominent. So like definitely right there. Sorry, let me turn off my music. A little bit around the eyes. Also gonna add it in, you know, this little eye area too. And you know, again, I'm gonna put some on the nose, just because you know, there's like a lot of oil on the nose. So you know, typically I'm gonna make I'm gonna come in with some highlights, and I'm gonna, you know, make the nose kind of like shine, because like there's a lot of oil on the nose. You know, like typically like when you're shining a light on the face, you know, the nose, you know, that's like, you know, it's a very light part when that gets light shined on. Oh my God, I can't speak. You know what I mean? All right, the nose is gonna, you know, have a lot of light on it, so that's why I'm gonna do that for later. But also I'm going to, you know, probably get the lips right, and I'm probably going to go in with an eraser and make some of these sharper edges, so that there's like, you know, just so you know that it's like the lips, and it's not like just you know, like just like a blush, you know what I'm saying? I know my terminology is so elementary. I apologize, you know, again, I'm not a professional, you know, I'm just a dude who gets this request a little bit too often, you know, this how do you do this, you know? So yeah, there you go. You know, just make it, just kind of like get it around the lips. And again, this is gonna obviously, you know, depend on if you even like draw lips this way in your style, you know. I understand that, but you know, again, it's just the concept, and you know, the skin and all that, you know, this can be applied to a lot of styles. So I'm just gonna blend this in a little bit, and then we're going to get to the fun parts. All right, and I'm actually going to go back to my gradient layer, take my color I already had, and I'm actually going to add just a little bit of a color difference, kind of like near her collarbone area too, especially right here. Kind of probably want to get it a little bit more harder. Pause. All right. And you know, so we kind of are, you know, we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. Obviously not perfect by any means, but definitely we're getting somewhere for sure. And again, I'm only going on these two layers, so the gradient and then the detail layer. The detail layer is just going to be the darker, you know, more, I guess, pronounced areas where her skin is going to change colors. So I just wanted that on a different layer, just in case I wanted to tweak like the color of it. And you know, it just helps to put these on different layers, you know, just for organization's sake, you know. So yeah, now that we have this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to really quick add in these white areas for her eyes and everything. I'm not going to do the eyes, but I'm going to time lapse this, and just do this really quick, just so I can see, and you know, once I shade everything, you'll see. So I'm going to time lapse now. All right, so right now the only layers that we're worried about is, again, our base, our gradient, and our detail. And what we can do is, you know, Procreate has this great feature where you can group layers. I already actually grouped my eyes, you know, the layer that I just told you I was going to time lapse. I already grouped that. And the way you group layers is basically you select the layer, and then you swipe right on it, and then you can swipe right on all the layers you want to group, and then just press group. And then you can just rename this skin. And that way it's a little bit more organized for you. And you know, because you know, layers can get, you know, messy. So just having everything in one place is always going to help you your workflow. So now we want to go back into this skin group, and we're going to create a new layer. And this time we're going to clip it, switch it to multiply, and let's lower it down to 50, right? And for this one, this is going to be our shade layer. So I'm going to rename this shade. And yeah, you know, shadow, shade, whatever. And let's say for the color, the thing about this is that it really depends on your lighting situation for the color you want to choose for like your shade. Typically I like it, I guess if it was like a blue light situation, you know, probably want to go for a bluish color, I guess. You know, but this will vary, so you know, we'll just go with the bluish color for right now. And yeah, that should work. And you know, just gonna get any old brush, you know. And since we're gonna cell shade it, go right here. And we don't actually have to be too precise with like okay, sorry, brain fart. You want to make sure you're paying attention to like where the lighting is in the picture. So obviously I don't really have a established lighting source, but you know, I'll just kind of I'll color it as if the lighting is kind of hitting her from this bottom area right here, or you know, the side, just this whole side right here. So this left side is going to be a little bit more darker, so we'll just do it like that. Simple, real simple. One thing I will say though is that I usually put the eye layer, or the eye group, I would include it in the skin group. That way the shade can kind of go on top of the eyes, because you know, that just makes the workflow faster. But you know, for the sake of the video, it's mainly about skin, so the eyes and the teeth and everything, that doesn't really matter. So I'm gonna leave it for right now, but just typically that's what I would do. Alright, so I am just about done with the first layer of shade. And again, this is pretty messy, but you know, again, this is typically how I'll go about doing the shades. And like I said, what we could do is if we like didn't like this color, so like say for instance this blue isn't really hitting, like for me, I'm not really feeling it too much, we can easily like change it. So like what you want to do is, let me just do this. So you would take the shade layer, you could press alpha lock, right? And now you can apply a color to the whole shade pattern or the whole shade, you know, selection, and it won't like, you know, bleed onto the whole page, right? So then what you could do is simply, you know, let's say you want to try, let's go a pinkish color, right? Or, you know, pinker color like that. You press fill, and then you have to readjust the multiply layer because sometimes it'll reset. And you know, then there you go. Now it's like way cooler, you know what I'm saying? The skin, it like definitely pops out, and you know, the lighting is she's definitely not in like a sky type background. Like she's not like outside, like she's outside, but like it may be like I don't know, like red lights. Like she must be like near a lamp or something. I don't know, like a red lamp, or pink lamp. You know, who knows? But anyways, like yeah, I like this because like I guess on a white background, you know, it looks better. But yeah, you could basically like easily change like you know, what the shade is, you know, or what the color is. So let's say I wanted like orange, you know, I could do that instead. And you know, hey, it works. So all of these kind of like make the skin tone like work. Like none of these look bad, right? So I'm gonna go back to the other one. But I also like to before I go on to the second layer of shade, I like to kind of like soften out like some of these like harder edges, you know, and kind of like make I don't want it to be like so sharp, you know, on certain angles, like certain I guess the way the light falls on the face, you want some of the contrast to be sharp, but then you want to also have some softer transitions, you know, just so it looks a little bit more natural and a little bit more appealing, you know. So you'll see what I mean. So like for instance right here, the mouth, this is kind of sharp, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this blend tool, and let's go to soft brush, and then I'm going to blend this a little bit. You don't want to go over, you don't want to OD on this one, because then you can you know, turn around and have one of those like a really soft amateurish looking painting kind of I guess pieces, you know, because you may have over blended, you know, stuff. So you just want to like use this very sparingly. and I'm just kind of like eyeballing certain areas where I want it to be soft, you know, or at least not as obvious that, like, you know, I just went in with like one pen brush, you know. And you know, I guess you could see the areas where I'm typically doing this, and I'm leaving certain areas, you know, sharp, you know, because again, it just adds a little bit more like contrast and not even contrast, just like interest. There you go, interest is the better word for that. Just interest, you know, so it doesn't look too boring. But yeah, now that we have this, what we're going to do is make another layer, clip, and we're going to call this shade 2. Promise this will be the last shade layer. Gonna also switch this one to multiply, and we're gonna put this one at 60. And what this layer is gonna basically be, it's just our really dark places. I just wanna have like a really dark. I want some areas to be darker than others. Like I guess that's what I want, you know. And that's what I use the second shade layer for, just to kind of make certain areas darker, you know. And it also makes the piece look a lot more complex, or more like you put in more effort than you may have, you know. So yeah, I like to use this, just, you know, get away with that. So let's go ahead and make this, since I use a sort of pinkish color for the shade, you can go ahead and make this like a more saturated pink too. Let's see what that does. So that's all right. I'm gonna probably push this up to maybe a pinkish right up there. And again, I want to use this very sparingly. I don't want to overuse this, because, you know, when you overuse it, sometimes it can turn out a little bit weird. So you just want to use this on occasion, you know, just on certain areas of the piece where, like, it's, you know, it should be like super duper dark, you know, or at least like more saturated, you know. So I'm just kind of adding in areas where I think that would be the case, especially right here, since that's kind of should be the part that's, like, you know, the most shaded in the piece. And thinking, would it work under the neck? Let's see. Like I said, I'm not a professional, so I gotta experiment just to see if it looks right. Let's see. Does that work? So that would probably work if I brought the I'll probably just make it a little bit smaller, but that could definitely work, though, you know. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. And yeah, just under right here too. And again, this is just, you know, just to add a little bit more interest to the whole, you know, skin tone. Nothing crazy. So again, now what we're going to do is go back with our blend tool, and we're going to just sort of blend these areas in just a little bit. Again, don't want to do it too much, just a little bit on small areas. But yeah, all right. So now that we have that, and you can also adjust this too. You know, if it's a little bit too prominent, you can always adjust it. You know, you can make it really prominent, or you can, you know, adjust this down. I think I'm gonna adjust it to about right there. So was that 53? Yeah, about right there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some highlights. And highlights are always my favorite part, because that's when the picture really starts to come together, in my opinion. So I'm gonna actually color pick this right here, and then kind of just push this up here. It's like this pinkish white, you know, just to see how that looks. And right now, my layer situation right now, I just created a new layer. Oh, whoops, don't forget to name your layers. So let's name this highlights. And then yeah, then I just color picked this sort of color under the nose, and then just kind of pushed it up right here, top left, just kind of get this pinkish off-white color. And I just kind of want to see what this looks like. So yeah, this looks pretty nice, doesn't look too bad, and everything's on the top. Yeah, okay. So yeah, you can kind of barely see the highlights, so I may push this a little bit up, a little bit more. And there we go. Now it's a little bit more. You can see it. And yeah, from here I just kind of like go on the outside, or like just areas, areas definitely on the outside, I really have a hard time explaining some of this stuff, but yeah, on the outside. And I also kind of like, just for whatever reason, whenever you add like a highlight like right underneath like a very dark spot, it looks really nice. So that looks nice to me. Don't ask me why that looks nice. Reflective lighting, I think is what it's called, but yeah, I think that looks nice. Just adding it there just to see how it looks. I'm probably not gonna keep it there. Yeah, nah. But yeah, then just on the outside right here. And again, I'm being really I guess kind of laid back with the highlights. Usually I like to go like really hard on them, but I'm gonna chill out for this tutorial, because I don't want to get too crazy with these. Yeah, we got this. And one thing I will do actually is, okay, so for the lips, usually, if like, let's say she has like a lip gloss or lipstick on, I like to add like another layer, and I'll just call this like a gloss light or whatever. And let's just go ahead and color pick the base lip color, and then kind of do the same thing we did with the highlight, kind of push it to the top left, and then kind of create like a transition from the skin to the lip, I just like to do this just because I don't know, it looks interesting. That's like my whole reasoning behind doing a lot of this. My whole decision making status is, or my whole decision making just, it does it look interesting, what I'm saying? And then yeah, I'll just do it, if it looks interesting. Is the correct way to do it? I don't know. But yeah, I just like to kind of do this just because it looks interesting. It makes the lips look pretty interesting. And yeah, also kind of want to do that with the nose too, just because like I said earlier, you got that oil on the nose, and this little piece right here, I'm probably gonna erase that so it fades a little bit nicer. There you go. And again, like anywhere where like like there will be blush, so like the lips, the nose, the cheeks, I'm just gonna do this just to kind of again visual interest, just to not make it boring. It doesn't, you don't want this to look boring, so there you go. Just erase some of these. All right, and I'll actually probably erase the top of these two, just again for interest's sake. For interest's sake. There you go. And yeah, now we got a pretty good looking skin tone. Obviously we could probably do a little bit more to it, but for right now, this one's pretty good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep that right there, and I'm going to move on to this next one, and I'm going to also time lapse this one to all the way up until like I get to the shade part again, because it's it starts to get a little bit different when you progress further, to deeper, more rich tones, so yeah, I will be right back. All right, and I'm back. So as you can see, I went ahead and filled in the base colors for both of our the remainder of our models, and I actually wanted to do like a quick little I guess I want to throw something else into this whole thing that I didn't really do with the first model. But like, yeah, so let's say this girl is wearing makeup, right? I forgot that I usually actually make one more layer that's on top of the base layer, and I name that makeup, or just like anything that's like on the face that's like not going to be a part of the gradient details. And yeah, I like to I guess sort of have like a separate layer for that, just in case I want to make some changes. So like her lip color, or like her eyeshadow, so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then I'll then we'll get back to your regularly scheduled program. So yeah, let me do that. All right, so that was pretty fast, but yeah, now I can actually go into explaining how I chose the colors for the brown skin girl's skin tone. So yeah, let's just color pick it, and that'll tell us. So basically I choose in this range, this orangish like reddish range, and again I still want to keep it desaturated, so I still kept it to the top left, but yeah, I chose that color, and when I go in with the gradient, I'm obviously going to choose probably a richer tone, probably in this hard, more reddish orange, more so red ish color, probably like down here. So but yeah, I did want to do the way I chose the makeup color is I kind of did this. I just went down and chose a slightly more saturated color, but again, it's gonna all pop out when I do the shades and the gradients. So again, just remember to keep your colors desaturated, because yeah, it's just gonna help you out when it's gonna make the shades pop, and the contrast is what makes stuff look interesting. That's at least that's what I think. So now we're gonna do what we always did. Go to our gradient layer, and that's already set up. Take this color, let's move it slightly down to the right, get a more saturated version of the color we have. Oops. Make that brush a little bit bigger. I'm gonna put it at the chin too, actually. I think she has an interesting chin. I mean, it's not really that interesting, but and then there we go. All right, and now we're going to go to the detail, and that's basically more or less the same. And this is all on the same layer that the other model is on, so my values are where I want them. It's just a matter of choosing the colors, right? Excuse me one second, I got a cough. All right, I promise I don't have COVID, yo. Anyways, yeah, so it's more or less the same, the values, so it's mainly just picking the color. So again, just making these areas a little bit more interesting. Also gonna add a little bit inside here, just because yeah, I think there should be some right there. A little bit of like skin tone variation right there. So yeah, as you can see, I added underneath the eyebrows and to the chin, on the list of like areas where I would place like some color variation. So again, that's just, I forgot to do it on the last model, so I'm doing it here. I'm letting you know. So hey, there you go. And yeah, like I said, I'm just gonna take my soft brush eraser and lightly go over the top. I'll probably lower the opacity down just a little bit though, just so it's not like taking everything off, and probably go to the detail area one more time and see. Honestly, I could probably color pick this and then maybe go for a slightly more saturated color and just darken the middle. I think that's what I'll do. Darken the middle. All right, that should be good. That should be good. Don't want to do too. I don't want to get into that too far. Now, for the shade, again, it's going to be a matter of choosing it. So since we kind of went with a pinkish color for the lighter skin tone, I'm thinking maybe an orangish color to sort of match like the I guess the aura of this girl will probably, you know, work, you know, to her favor. You know, since the blue lighting wasn't working, or at least I wasn't trying to make that work. And again, if it's not working, you can always just change it. You know, nobody's getting mad. You can always just color change it. So. Alright, so just about done placing the first layer of shades. Let me probably just add right there. And yeah, for the most part, I basically just followed the way I did it with the other model over here. Again, I just kind of made a little bit more volume for the lips. So, you know, I had a few like curves in the shade, the cell shading. But yeah, overall, I did it the same way I did the last time. And again, I can switch the color. The only thing is that now that both of these are, you know, on the same layer, what I'll have to do is alpha lock, and then I'll have to like lasso if I want to switch the color of one. And that's just so I don't change the color of the other. So let's say I want to change it to orange. And you know, I could just do it. Yeah. I'd have to basically color it like that. I mean, I can get the paint bucket tool, but you know, you get the point though. You have to use the lasso tool now that you know. So, you know, if you want, you can always like just separate these on different layers and you don't have to worry about this. You can just do the alpha lock thing and then, you know, switch it. But again, like let's say I wanted to actually change, you know, something on this and it's alpha locked and I press fill, you know, but then it changes, you know, the one on the left. So, you know, just got to keep that in mind. But I like how this is turning out so far. So now I'm going to add the second shade layer. And again, gonna probably go a lot darker, a lot more deeper. So probably around this kind of color tone, you know, this hue or this red. And yeah, we're just gonna see what this looks like. Yeah, that should be about as dark as we need it to be. All right. So the last thing, well, you know, almost the last thing, again, is now the highlights, and we're going to do that again the same way. So we're just going to take this base color, bump it up, see what that does, see what that gives us. And again, I don't want to be too I guess I should say I would normally be like really extreme with the highlights, but I don't know, I like the sort of like softer highlights I've been going for lately. So I'm gonna just go with these more softer, more medium tone highlights, as opposed to like these really sharp, like white, like stark white highlights, you know. And that's just me. But yeah, again, it's gonna depend on your lighting situation for sure. So just keep that in mind. Probably gonna alpha lock this and maybe take it down just a tad bit actually. Just move these down to where they're a little bit more like even. Yeah. Alright, now we're gonna do our gloss light. So we're just gonna take this color and then it's kind of and just do the same thing we did the last time. Starting to come out nice, And we're just gonna go ahead and erase these now. Or, you know, erase the top, erase like the sides a little bit, just so it has that good transition, like last time. All right. So, yeah, we got our lighter skin girl, brown skin girl, and now we're gonna go to our dark skin girl. So far, the process has been basically the same, and it's not really gonna change too much. I guess want to say with like darker skin tones, you don't want to go with like just a brown, you know what I'm saying, like just a brown like that. In my opinion, you kind of want to go for like one of these colors, like a reddish kind of darker, a more like saturated deeper red / like almost, you know, towards like the pinkish purple area, because it creates like this really like I think nicer even tone. it's really easy to like show like the richness of the skin tone when you're doing the shading. When you go with like this color and this color, as you can see, it's like way more in this reddish / magenta hue. So and then, yeah, you know, again, obviously I wanted to keep it more less saturated, so you know I moved it over to the left a bit. But yeah, this is the skin tone I'm gonna go for, and I'm actually gonna do the same thing with the makeup, and just add like just some small things. So I'll probably time lapse this again, and then yeah, we'll get to the main event again. All right, so now that she has her makeup, we're gonna go ahead and go to the gradient, and obviously you know, should be pretty easy at this point. We're just gonna take this color, bump this down a little bit, then move this over to a little bit more of a saturated look. Then we're just going to do the same exact thing. I have to remember that we're gonna you know, go over these with, you know, deeper colors anyway, so I don't have to be too deep on this first little you know, gradient shift. But yeah, that should be good enough. Now for the detail, this is where I can actually shift it a little bit more. So we basically got everything down for the gradients. Probably add a little bit right here, actually. Yeah, okay. And again, I know they look crazy because they're all bald, but you know, they're gonna have hair. You know, hair tutorial next. Who knows? No, there's not gonna be a hair tutorial, by the way. No, I'm not qualified yet, I don't think. Well, maybe, you know, if y'all really want to see that, you know, get this vid to 100 likes and I'll think about it. Alright, so now that we got the shade going, I'm actually going to choose a more pinkish color, or more purple, yeah, pinkish purple color for the shade, just to kind of go in line with, you know, I guess like how like the colors have been kind of like matching their skin tone. So like the shade colors have been kind of like complementing the skin tone. So yeah, I just think this color works. You know, it just works. So all right. So I just about got the shades, the shade colors where I want them, or at least the first, you know, set of shade colors. I'm gonna do the second one now. I'm gonna lower this down probably a little bit, drag this down just a tad, and yeah, just gonna probably throw this right here, and just in areas, you know, again, this color you want to like use very, very sparingly, because this is like your 5-star color. You know, everything else was just like it was like a 4-star rarity. This is like your 5-star, so you don't want to like waste this, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, you just want to like use this very, very sparingly. You know, and the shades are turning out pretty nice. All right, so I think we're just about ready for the highlights. And for the highlights, again, I just choose the skin, bump it up a little bit. But what I should do is probably choose the shade color, because that's way more saturated, and then bump that up. And then, yeah, that's probably better, actually. That's probably what I did the first time, and I just forgot, and then, you know, did something else. But yeah, no, this is definitely better. So yeah, take the deepest shade color you have, color pick that, then bump that up a little bit to the left, and then, you know, you have a pretty nice highlight color. All right, and now we just do the gloss light, and that's probably the easiest part here. Just flushing this in a little bit, and you know, I would probably make like a second layer or like a new layer on top of everything, and then just, you know, go in and probably gloss up like the actual like parts that are supposed to shine. So like I'll probably show you what I mean after I'm done with you know, homegirl right here. let's. All right, so we have our 3 skin tones right here. One final thing I may do, or I guess I said I would do, is I'd go all the way up. So this is actually the line art layer, so let me just rename that to line art layer so I don't get confused. And I actually already made a layer for where I put the light shine for the eyes, so I'll just put light eyes. But typically, if I want to make like let's say like her lip kind of like shine a little bit, or like, you know, all of their lips, you know, shine, or like just like their cheeks and, you know, noses, you know, all of it, just like, you know, pop a little bit more. I'll create one more layer on top of the line art layer. I believe I put it to add, and I literally just take this color, and then I think I have my soft brush, and then I'll probably just lower the opacity down a little bit. And again, make sure your layer is on add, and let's name this light skin parentheses, and yeah, just kind of give this a small little shine. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. Actually, sometimes the bigger shine may take away, so you just want to do something kind of subtle. Yeah, that should work. Color pick this. Yeah, we're just color picking. Oops, y'all weren't supposed to see that. All right, we're just color picking the skin, and then, you know, just kind of add a small little gloss to it. It's kind of up to you the degree you want to do this. It just looks really nice if, like, you know, say like they're wearing makeup or something, you know. I'll probably erase this a little bit so it's not as prominent. You know. All right, and finally over here, just go ahead and add this. All right, so yep, this is basically how I would, you know, tackle skin. Let me know if there's like anything I can like explain a little bit better in the comments, or I guess go in depth, or if you like would like I guess a different video explaining like something more specific about what I did, because I know this was very general, and, you know, I didn't really explain a whole lot, like, you know, how to determine where the lighting is coming from, you know, or, you know, all of that. You know, but again, this is a general tutorial. If you're able to follow along, hey, you know, leave me a thumbs up, like, you know, comment, share, you know, that's always appreciated. And I also do, you know, live streams every Tuesday, so, you know, come on, you know, come through, drop by, you know, say hello, draw with us, you know, we're just chilling in there. And yeah, man, I think that's gonna be it for this video. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, night, or whatever, and it's been your boy Chris. Peace.